Hello everyone, myself is Supriya Ambarkar from Walchand Institute of Technology, Solapur. Today we are going to discuss a topic on Lampert's mutual exclusion algorithm, the learning outcome. At the end of this session, student will be able to learn the working of Lampert's mutual exclusion algorithm. As an introduction, Lampert was the first to give the distributed mutual exclusion algorithm concept. It is a non-token based algorithm. So there is a not necessity of any kind of a token should be held by a particular process to enter into the critical section. It is based on the Lampert's clock synchronization scheme. It assumes the messages are delivered in a FIFO order between each pair of sites. Every site SI keeps a queue and request queue. These are the data structures. Each request gets a timestamp. The request for lower timestamp take the priority over the request with the higher timestamp. So lower will be having a priority. Each site maintain a queue of pairs like a timestamp and the ID of a particular site, that is in TS and I, ordered by a timestamp. Now we will see the Lampert mutual exclusion algorithm in terms of the following section. So while the working we want to consider, it has been divided in terms of request, execute and release. In terms of requesting the critical section, when a site SI, suppose SI, want to enter into the critical section, it send a request like a TSI and I. So this message to all the concerned site in that request set of a RI. So it places a request on a request queue, TSI and I. So in terms of that, the data structure is going to melt. Suppose when a site SJ receives a request of that first SI, the message from SI, it returns the timestamp reply message to the particular SI and places its SI's request in that particular queue. So they want to maintain a data structure queue. Now, in terms of executing the critical section, site SI enters the critical section when the following condition should be held. So L1 and L2, these two conditions are there. L1, SI has received a message with a timestamp larger than from all the concerned sites, that is in TSI and I. The second condition, SI's request is at the top of request QI. What is the first request of that top? Then third, releasing the critical sections. Site SI, upon existing the critical section, removes its request from the top of its request queue and sends the timestamped release message to all the sites in the request set. When a site SJ receives a release message from site SI, it removes the SI's request from its request queue. So releasing section is there. So request has been made, execution has been done, and releasing the particular critical section is going on. Now we will see one example of this Lampert algorithm. So this is an figure one that shows us an site SI and S2, S1 and S2 are making the request for the critical section. So S1 and S2. S1 has made the request like a timestamp 1 and the site name 2. So first timestamp he has made. After few interval time, S1 has made the request. Timestamp is 2 and the site number is 1. So according to that, the request has been made. So S2 has made a request to S1 and S3. S1 has made again a request to the concerned site S2 and S3. So this diagram shows us a concept of sites S1 and S2 are making request for the critical section. Now sites S2 enters the critical section. Now we will see S2 has to enter into the critical section. How S2 has got a chance to enter into the critical section? Here in terms of this, the first diagram, first request has been made by S2 and according to that, the reply has been getting back to this particular concern request. So S3 has given the reply first for this particular request S2, and after the some interval of the particular time, the request has been whatever the request has been made to S1, that is also has been given back. So here the chance of S2 to get into the critical section, because S2 has the both the replies from S1 and as well as from S3. So S2 enter into the critical section. Now S1 will delay the entering into the critical section because he has got the only reply from the here. He has got the replies from only from the S3, not from the S2, because S2 is already is in the critical section. So here is a chance to enter into the critical section S2. Now in this third diagram, S2 exit the critical section and sends the release message. So whenever the task is over, whatever the task has been made, the S2 exits the particular critical section. So here is a chance to exit the particular critical section. So S2 doesn't want to more that enter into the critical section. He has to exit that. So S2 has made that request. I am going to exit the critical section. So here you will see the S1 is still in a queue because he has to enter into the critical section. And S3 has already given the replies to both the particular request. Now in this diagram 4, now there is a chance S1 will get to enter into the critical section because S2 is released the message, and according to that release has been given to both the sites. S1 has given the reply, yes, I have released the particular sites. So sites are there in terms of the S1 and S2. So what will be seen in terms of the S1? S1 has get a chance, the my particular timestamp is there. So 2 comma 1. So 2 is an timestamp of S1 and 1 is an site of S1. So S1 enters the critical section. Here in this point, S1 has a choice or chances to enter into the critical section. So these are the concern, whatever the entries are there in terms of that queues. The request has been made by whatever the concern sites. The replies has been given by the particular concern sites. The queue has been entered. So in this particular diagram, you are able to suppose to see the S1 has a chance to enter into the critical section. So this is a simple example of Lampert, how we are able to suppose to make a request to make a particular execute a critical section and to release the particular critical sections. In terms of this algorithm, Lampert, there is a message complexity. This algorithm creates 3n minus 1 message per request, or n minus 1 message or 2 broadcasts. So 3n minus 1 message per request includes first is a total number of requests, second total number of reply, third total number of releases. So in terms of this, 3n minus 1 messages per particular request has been made in terms of this particular algorithm. So this algorithm is a more complex one. So we will see. Now pause the video and write down your answer. Lampert's distributed mutual exclusion algorithm will fail if one of its participants fail. So what do you think? Yes, answer is true. Lampert's distributed mutual exclusion algorithm will fail if one of its participants fail. The performance of the Lampert distributed algorithm, we will be required 3n minus 1 messages per critical section invocation. There is a synchronization delay, that is in ds of t. The drawback of this algorithm, it is very, you can say, the unreliable, as failure of any one of the process will halt the progress. It has a high major message complexity, that is a 3 times n minus 1 message per entry exit into the critical section. These are the references which I have referred for this particular video. Thank you one and all.